Hello, thank you for joining me. Today I want to talk about the most important aspect of any self-healing journey, and that's self-love. If you're like me, then you've probably experienced some sort of physical crisis in your life, some sort of physical ailment that all the experts didn't know what to do with, that didn't know how to help you. And so now you're on this journey alone, and you're on this journey trying to figure out what your body needs to heal. On my journey, I started out trying to heal chronic pain with diet and detoxification. And then I moved on to movement and sleep and so many aspects of my daily practice. And I got really disciplined and really obsessed with doing everything perfectly, eating exactly the right macronutrient ratio, eating at exactly the right times of day, going to bed at exactly the right time, taking exactly the right supplements, trying to do everything perfectly and rigidly. And after years and years of telling myself, no, I don't need to worry about my happiness. I can worry about my happiness later. I'll be happy once I achieve my goal of being pain-free. I'll be happy once I can do the things in life that I used to do, that I used to love doing and I can't do anymore. When I can do those things, then I'll be happy. And so I pushed and I was disciplined and I forced myself. And I ostracized myself from everyone that I knew because no one else was living this pure lifestyle. And eventually, after years and years of exploring diet and movement, I found this combination of things. And I was able to get to the place where I could run again. Running was one of the things that I lost, one of the things that I loved to do, but I couldn't do anymore. One of the things I thought would bring me happiness. And eventually, I couldn't run like I could in high school. I ran cross country in high school and I loved it. I never got to that point again, but I got to the point where I ran a mile in 7 minutes and 15 seconds on a track at the university I attended. And I thought that was pretty good. Having not run in almost a decade, 7:15 miles seemed pretty good. I was pretty happy with that. And I did that a couple more times, but I found something was missing. It was empty. It didn't fulfill me in the way that I thought it would fulfill me. And because of that emptiness, my entire disciplined practice sort of fell apart. I couldn't justify forcing myself to do everything perfectly and rigidly when the things that I thought were going to make me happy, once I achieved them, didn't actually make me happy. And I realized that I had never been happy, and I had never really loved myself. And eventually I came to understand that this was one of the main reasons that I ran into physical problems in the first place, that my body was responding to the fact that I didn't love it, that I hated it, that I loathed it. I was resentful to my body, I was resentful to my creator, I was resentful of my own incarnation. And I made everyone aware of that resentment. My art for a decade was all about how terrible life was and how miserable I was and all the pain and all the suffering. And eventually I realized that I needed to love myself and that it didn't actually matter what happened to my physical body. Because even if I did everything right, and I somehow achieved all the physical goals that I wanted, I could pursue athletics again, I could pursue arts again in ways that I wanted. Even if I achieved that, it wouldn't necessarily bring me happiness, and someday down the road, eventually, I would lose it again. Because we only leave this meat suit one way. And it's when it breaks down to the point where it could no longer sustain us. And that's often a very slow process when people start to age. And so even if in my 30s and my 40s and even my 50s I was able to do whatever I wanted to do physically, someday I would be right back where I am now, right back in this place of having to accept the realities of being in a body, which is that this thing breaks down sometimes. This thing is dysfunctional at times. And that led me on this deeper journey of asking questions of what is it for? What does it mean to be in the body? Why are we in the body? And I inevitably came to a very spiritual understanding that we are in the body to grow, to expand as souls. Our souls have a deeper intention for being here, and the physical body is a temporary experience to serve our higher mission. And then we don't really know what our higher mission is in the moment. It's a process of discovery. You can't know why you are here, you have to discover why you are here. So what does this mean for our physical practice? Because I experienced what it's like to give up my physical practice. After this, I just gave up trying to eat really well. I gave up trying to do all the right exercises, and my body suffered. The decay happened even quicker. I can't run currently. I'm not capable of doing that. I'm not at that level that I was 2 or 3 years ago. But I'm at a deeper level. There's other healing that's been occurring at this emotional and spiritual and psychological level. And I've been learning to love myself. And I realized that all of those practices I was doing, all of those exercises, all of that rigid discipline, I was doing it with desperation and loathing and fear in my heart. And so I think this is so critical. I see so many people doing this in the fitness world, in the healing world. They're trying to force themselves to fit some mold of what the perfect practice is. But if you're doing it with the wrong energy, if you're doing it with the energy of scarcity, of lack, of fear, of resentment, then you're not going to heal. You're just putting that negative energy further into your body. And I experienced many dietary protocols, many exercise protocols that actually hurt myself, that actually damaged my body further. I was trying to do the right thing and I hurt myself more. And I believe it was because of this deeper emotional energy that I was putting into it. So what do? What's the answer? The answer is self-love. Love yourself. Every morning when you get up and you hydrate your body, put love into that water. Give gratitude for that water. Tell your body you love it and that you're hydrating it as an act of love. It is an act of love. So treat it as an act of love. To take care of your body. Your body is a temple for your higher self, your consciousness, universal oneness that is expressing itself through you. Your body is sacred. Treat it as that sacred temple that it is. And tell it every time you do yoga how much you love it and how grateful you are. For me, my knees hurt a lot of the times, and sometimes I get frustrated and upset with my body that my knees hurt, and I stop myself and I put my hands on my knees and I just say thank you. Thank you for every mountain you allowed me to hike up. Thank you for every skateboard trick you helped me land. Thank you for every mountain biking excursion that we went on together. Thank you for every snowboarding trip that we went on together. Thank you for every step that I've ever taken, because I couldn't have done any of it without you. I love you. Thank you, knees. You supported me so much and you're doing so well. We're in this together. Let's keep going. Shift that relationship with your body. Shift that relationship with your ailments and realize that they are here as a part of your healing. Your deeper healing. Every time you stretch at the end of the day, or whatever time of day you stretch, put love into your muscles and your joints. Don't push yourself. Don't strain yourself. Don't compete with yourself. Love yourself and smile and send that energy of gratitude through your body as you stretch and you move. Every time you eat healthy food, give thanks for that food. Give thanks for the animals and the plants that were sacrificed so that you could be here. Give thanks for the farmers that grew that food and the truck drivers that transported it. Give thanks for the grocery clerks who put it on the shelf. Give thanks for the financial abundance you have in your life, that you can purchase that healthy food. And tell your body that you're giving it this food. Receive that love, because it's very hard to receive that love if you don't feel that you're worthy. Know that you're worthy of all of that love and abundance in that meal, and receive it. Take it into you. Take it into your body. And let your body know that you're doing this out of love. Every time you're on the computer at night and you're struggling to make that decision of whether or not to watch one more YouTube video or turn off the computer and get ready for bed, because you know you need to get to bed at a good time to take care of this body, to be your best self. You need to be rested and recharged. It doesn't happen when you're up all night on YouTube, right? So when you're in that space trying to make that decision, think about love. What would be the most loving thing to do for myself right now? Would it be to watch another cat video? Or would it be to turn off the computer, spend some time going in, reflecting on my day, being grateful for my experience, reviewing the lessons that I learned, and going to sleep? Right? And when you go to sleep, do it with love. Do it with gratitude. Feel the blankets on top of you and say, oh man, I love these blankets. They feel so soft. And if your blankets are soft, get some soft blankets so you can be grateful for your blankets. Lay down in your bed and feel how soft your bed is. And if your bed isn't soft, if it doesn't feel good to you, get a bed that feels good so that you're grateful every single night when you go to sleep. So you can sleep with gratitude and appreciation and love for yourself and the experience of your life, the ups and the downs, the good and the bad. Embrace all of it, accept all of it, appreciate all of it, and face it with confidence and love and bravery. And when the inevitable challenges arise, often involving your physical body, give thanks for that too. This is something that I'm still working on. Finding peace and acceptance with the things that have happened in my body, in my life. I could be upset and resentful for the pain and limitations that I've experienced. But had I not gone through this decade-long struggle with my body, hating my body, suffering from the pain in my body, grieving for the loss of all the things that I couldn't do anymore because my body wasn't functioning the way my mind wanted it to. If I hadn't gone through that experience, I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't have ever gotten to that place where I realized how much I hated myself and how much I needed to love myself, how much better it would be to love myself. I never would have had my spiritual awakening. I never would have had interest in diet and movement and yoga and breath. I never would have explored any of this. I would have just kept being sad and depressed and making depressing art and putting that negative energy into the world. That's what I would have kept doing. I would have kept competing with myself and feeling like I wasn't good enough. But through this gift that I was given of being sick, the gift I was given of my body breaking down, and the discovery of how to put it back together again, it's one of the best things that ever happened to me in my life. And that's what I want for you. I want you to get to a place where you can look at whatever you're struggling with right now and you can say, this is the best thing that ever happened to me. Because I am the best version of myself that I've ever been, and I couldn't have become this version if that hadn't happened. My value as a person is not dependent on whether or not my knees hurt or how fast of a mile I can run. It's not determined by my physical limitations. It's not determined by the circumstances of my life. My value is inherent. As a human being, I have value, I am worthy, and you have value, and you are worthy. And when you start to see that, when you start to wake up to that, and to really give yourself that love that you've always withheld from yourself and you've always been worthy of, then everything that you do in your daily practice will really start to heal you, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And you'll have the leeway in your daily practice to have some spontaneity, to have some freedom, to enjoy life. You don't have to do all the perfect exercises every morning. You don't have to have the perfect meditation routine. You can just live. And always come back to that love. You are so abundant that healing can take place any moment when you just make that shift from separation to unity, from scarcity to abundance, from fear to love, from division to wholeness. You can make that shift at any minute, and everything that you do for your physical body, whether it's exercises, diet, hydration, sleep, breath work, yoga, whatever it is you're doing, check in with yourself before you do it. Check in with yourself while you're doing it, over and over and over again. Where am I doing this from? What am I feeling in my heart right now? Is it separation or is it wholeness? Is it inadequacy or worthiness? That's something that no healer can ever provide you. No doctor, no acupuncturist, no one, no YouTuber. No one can ever provide this for you. You have to find that for yourself, to be honest with yourself, to check in with yourself, and to know what energy you're putting in to your daily practice. Thank you very much for listening to this video, watching this video. I hope it helped you. It helped me to make it. If this spoke to you, if it helped you in any way, please consider subscribing. I want to keep making videos like this because I believe it's part of my higher purpose. Thank you so much.